this is Katie. In today's video, I want to show you some previous footage that I've already recorded where I was talking about something pretty serious and pretty important to me. So in one of my recent videos, I talked about some of the pros of living in a car, and then in some of my recent videos, I've also talked about some of the cons of living in the car, because I just wanted to give you guys like a realistic sense of what it's like to live in a car. Some of the good things that can happen and that you can be thinking and feeling, and some of the more annoying or overwhelming or negative things that you might feel. Not to ever deter you, but just to give you like a real honest picture of what it could be like, at least in my experience. And one of the things that I recorded for one of those videos, but that I decided to make into a separate video, was talking all about fear. And fear is one of those topics that I love thinking about and I love talking about, because I personally think that way too many people let fear dictate their lives. And so I have a ton of footage that I took previously that I wanted to show you guys in this video, make a whole separate video just talking about fear. And so if you have any fear or any doubt or any confusion about any choice in your life, so it doesn't even have to just be about living in your car, about any choice in your life, if you have fear, hesitation, if you are letting something overwhelm you, I really hope that this video can help, with some of the logistical ideas of it, because one of the things that I didn't put in that footage, but that I want to say briefly, is that I think that too many people let the exception of a situation become the rule of the situation. For example, you might hear one person who lived in their car got robbed. You might hear that story on the news or from a friend, and it's so easy to put in our heads, okay, well, someone got robbed, so therefore it is a dangerous thing to do. When in reality, maybe it only ever happened that once, or maybe it only happens a tiny, tiny percentage of the time, but it's very easy, especially if we hear something from a friend or if we see something on the news or on social media, it's very easy to let that event, which is generally an exception, but it's really easy to let that event become the rule in our minds, to let that become, oh, that's what always happens, and that's why it's scary or why it's dangerous or why it's a bad idea. When in reality, it could be just something that maybe happens every once in a while, And so I really am such a proponent of really looking at the facts of a situation and really thinking about the overall picture of it. Because sometimes we might only have little bits of a situation, and it's so easy to just think that that's what always happens, when sometimes it's not. A lot of the times it's not. A lot of times it's just even fear from the media trying to push the fear onto us, and a lot of times it works. A lot of people do live in fear. A lot of times that does work. And so I just wanted to have this video to just kind of talk about fear in general, and to hope to give you guys a little encouragement that a lot of the fear that we feel is unnecessary, and a lot of the fear that we feel does not mean that we have to follow it or let it dictate our lives. And anytime that it's a good idea to let fear dictate our lives, it's because of other logical points. And so I just really hope that talking about fear in this video, can kind of help your mindset a little bit. And maybe if there's something that you feel like fear is holding you back from, maybe you can start thinking really logically about it and really just see what's best and what's good for you and what God wants for you, versus just letting your emotions always dictate your reality, because we don't really have to always do that. But anyway, I have a lot more footage talking about fear, and so I want to jump into that. And so I really hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I hope that if you guys like this kind of mindset, productivity, encouragement, if you guys like these kind of videos, I really hope that you're subscribed to my channel. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, and lastly, and I'm almost hesitant to even bring this one up, because I don't want to say it acting like I believe it or that it's a big deal, because I don't think it is. But the last one on my list is that living in your car, you might feel a little less safe living in your car. You might be a little scared living in your car. And I hesitate bringing that up because I think a lot of people, and this might be subconscious, and I'm not making fun of you or talking down to you. I think it's generally like a subconscious thing that we're not even really realizing, but I think a lot of people almost want to find something that's scary about something. They want to find something that's scary or wrong or dangerous about something, so that they have something to complain about, or they have a reason to not do something, or that they have a reason to spread fear. I think a lot of people like spreading fear. A lot of people live by fear and make decisions based on fear, and they like to spread fear. I am not one of those people. I do not live by fear. If I'm in a very dangerous situation that I can logically see is dangerous, then I will do something about it. I will get out of that situation. But I'm talking more about the assumed fear of something that you've never done before. And even if people around you are telling you that it's fine, but that you just have it stuck in your head that it's just dangerous, because it's abnormal and because you've never done it before. That's what I'm talking about. I think a lot of people who have never slept in a car before and they've never lived in a car before automatically think that it's dangerous, scary, stupid, for lazy people, for people who don't know what they're doing with their life. They think you need to grow up, whatever. And I don't believe that at all. I think it's a different adventure. I think it's a different lifestyle. End stop. That's what I think it is, you know? And I think that some people romanticize certain things. Like van life now is romanticized, but car life is still made fun of. And I'm like, it's the same thing. Vans are just bigger, but we're doing basically the same thing. And you know, if you're backpacking around Europe, that's fantasized. But if you are living in a car on a road trip, that's sometimes made fun of. Not always. Some people do understand that they're similar, but some people just see certain things and romanticize certain things, but they make fun of other things that are actually very similar. And you might think that van life and car life are drastically different, and they are different in some ways, but the idea is very similar. And the people who are doing it have similar mentalities. People who do van life, it's just they may have had more money, especially because a lot of the renovation stuff take a lot of money, and they just wanted more space. You know, they just had different priorities. But the idea of living an alternative lifestyle, living in a vehicle and living on the road is all the same. But I think a lot of people still just think that living in a car is stupid and dangerous. And I want to be your reminder that, can it be dangerous? Yes. But going outside of your front door can be dangerous. Going to bed at night in your bed, in your house you've lived in for 20 years can be dangerous. We never know what's going to happen. So living for fear of the unknown, like that's just going to keep you in your comfort zone the whole time. But even your comfort zone can be dangerous. You can have the same house, the same job, your whole entire life, but something bad can still happen in those situations. Just like something bad can happen if you change your lifestyle. And I'm just one of those people like, yeah, I'm gonna change it. It's worth the risk to me. Again, there are certain things that are not worth the risk to me. There have been certain times that I've been in my car at parking lots, there a couple times that I'm like, I don't feel safe here because something's going on, and I'll leave. But fear of the unknown, if that's gonna stop you, then you're just gonna be living the same life over and over and over again. No matter what situation you're in, you're gonna have the same mentality, you're gonna be in the same comfort zone, and you're not really gonna grow as much as you can if you do not let fear of the unknown stop you. Because again, having feelings does not mean that we have to act on them. So having a different lifestyle, living in your car might be a little scary sometimes. It's something brand new and completely different and completely out of the norm. I understand that it might be scary, overwhelming, and it might feel dangerous sometimes. But please, as much as you can, don't let the fear of the unknown and the fear of danger that's not actually happening, please don't let that get you down, and please don't let that dictate your actions, and please don't let that stop you from doing something that you think can be great. You know, again, if you get into a situation that is dangerous, that logically something is happening around you that is dangerous, then yes, then do something to get yourself out of that, you know? But we're talking about the mindset of doing anything new. Oh, I can't do that, that's scary. Well, is it actually scary? Or do you just want to let that fear of the unknown stop you? Or is there another reason that you don't want to do it, but you're blaming it on fear? You know, you guys know I talk about mindset all the time. I think it's really important to know why we think the way we do. I think too many people just have an opinion or an emotion, and then they're just, I'm scared, and then that's it. But I want to just encourage you, if you ever feel scared, if you feel nervous, if you feel anxious, do what you can to think of why. You know, so if you think that living in a car is scary, whether you're going to do it or not, but if you just have the idea living in a car is scary, if you have that idea, maybe think of why. Why do you think that? Why do you think that? Well, you're in a car. So what if someone breaks in? Okay, someone can break into your house. Just keep thinking of why, and see if you have a real reason, or see if it's just an illogical fear, because we all have those, and sometimes they're gonna stop you from doing something that's actually really good for you. And so that's why I think that thinking of why can be helpful, because you might be able to do something that's really good for you. You know, maybe you got a job offer in Phoenix and you've lived in Texas your whole life, but you got a really cool job offer in Phoenix, but you're like, oh, I can't do it, that's scary. Well, why? What makes it scary? Or what's stopping you? Because there's a difference between, nah, I don't want to live in Phoenix. That does not appeal to me. I don't really want to. I like where I live now. You know, that's different than I hate where I live and Phoenix sounds really cool, but I still don't want to do it because it's scary. If you feel this one of any choice in life, any choice, if you feel this one, I hate what I'm doing, but I'm not going to change, or something really, really cool has been offered to me, or I can choose something really, really cool, but I'm too scared, or it's It's, I don't know. If you feel this over here, that group, please, please, please try to think of why. You know, for example, again, keeping with the Phoenix and Texas. I don't know why I said Phoenix and Texas. One's a city, one's a state. Say Phoenix and Austin, right? Say you live in Austin and you don't really like it. You live there for a couple of years. You don't really like it. You don't really feel connected to it. And the job you have there is fine, you know, but you're kind of just comfortable. You've been there for years, you're just kind of comfortable. But say you know someone who lives in Phoenix and their job is hiring and it's a job that you've always wanted. And it's really, really cool. It pays more. And you already know that one of your friends lives there, you know, but you're like, oh, I can't do that. Think of why. What is stopping you? Is it fear of the unknown? We talked, I think, enough about that. Please do not let fear of the unknown stop you. If it's fear of logical, hey, there's a lion's den and I dropped my phone in it, maybe don't go get your phone because that's actual danger. That's actual danger. But if it's just, oh, I don't know, that's not actual danger. That's fear of potential maybe danger. And there's no point of having that because anything that we do in life has potential danger. Anything. Living in a house that you've lived in for 20 years still has potential danger. It still just does. You can fall and break your hip in the house you've lived in for 20 years. Anything has potential danger. So I don't want you to not do something because of potential danger and because of a feeling of fear. And so if you're living in Austin and you don't really like it and you have nothing really holding you there, but you have something cool in Phoenix, why aren't you going to do it? I think personally, it's easy to not think about that stuff and it's easy to just live by our emotions, but we're adults. And one of the cool things about being adults is that we get to choose if we act on our emotions or not. And we get to see the logic and see the truth and see the fact in situations. You know, so anyone who tells me living in a car is dangerous, usually I hear that from people who have never done it before. And I'm like, well, I've done it for years and I've always been fine. So I'm going to go by the truth, the actual truth, not my truth, the truth and my experiences and my thoughts. I'm going to go by all of that. What's personal to me, but also what is the truth. Living in a car is not dangerous. It can be. But really anything we do can be dangerous. So are you gonna not do something that you think is awesome or that you really want to do or that you would even just like to try? Are you not gonna do it because it can be dangerous? All right, well, what you're doing right now can be dangerous too. So if you don't wanna move to Phoenix from Austin, why? What is scaring you or what is holding you back? I think a lot of people, it's comfort. And here's the thing about it though. You might dislike your lifestyle now, but it's still comfortable. So comfortable still does not always mean like physically good comfortable, like, oh, I'm relaxing watching a movie. Comfortable in the way I'm talking about it means in your comfort zone, and you can still be miserable in your comfort zone. So if you're miserable or unhappy or really feeling like God wants something different for you, but you feel kind of stuck in your comfort zone, I just really want to encourage you, see what you can do to step out of it. That's the only way that we're really going to learn and grow as humans, is if we step out of our comfort zone. And that does not always mean doing something drastic. You can still step out of your comfort zone, but have the same job, same wife, same family, same house, same car. You can still step out of your comfort zone. Go take a ballroom dancing class. Go do little weekend trips. You know, start to downsize some of the stuff you own. You know, there's still changes that you can make. So I'm not saying that everyone has to live an alternative lifestyle. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that doing something outside of your comfort zone, you know, get a new hobby, learn a new language, see how to make new friends, join a group at church, you know, something outside of your comfort zone. That's how you can learn and grow and be more of who you're supposed to be. Be more of who God wants you to be and who God created you to be. I know that it can be scary when you first move into a car because probably a lot of people around you are probably telling you that it's a stupid idea or that it's definitely dangerous or something bad is going to happen. And I just hope that if you ever get that from people around you, I hope that you can build the confidence in yourself to do what you know is right and to trust yourself on your decisions and to prepare and know that what you're doing is like, yep, this is right for me. But I also hope that you can realize that a lot of things in life are not innately dangerous. A lot of people just think they are because they've never done them before. And having that fear does not mean that it's true. It just means that it's a fear. And you can feel the fear and do it anyway. You do not need to let emotions dictate your actions because sometimes our emotions are not based on fact. And it's okay to feel them, you know, but that does not mean that we have to listen to them. or let them dictate our lives. And so talking about fear and stuff, you know I always talk about it for a long time, and I know I repeat myself a lot, but it's like, because it's so important to me that people don't just live by fear. And again, I'm not talking about dropping your cell phone into a cage of lions and then thinking if you're gonna go get your phone or not. No, that's not what I'm talking about, because that is an actual level of danger, unless you're someone who works with the lions and they know you, but if you don't know those lions, then you gotta forget about your phone. Your phone's gone. But if we're talking about something that you've just never done before, but that other people do, and that other people have done fine, there's no definite danger. There's a possibility of danger. But I'm telling you now, every single thing that we do in life has a possibility of danger. Just like a lot of things we do in life has a possibility of something good. Last summer, I was at a park and I was walking up some stairs, and the stairs broke underneath me and I fell through them, and now I have potential lifelong nerve damage in my leg and my foot. Does that mean I'm afraid of parks now? No. Does that mean that I'm afraid of stairs now? No. Anything can happen. I've walked upstairs, millions of times in my life? And I've, sprained my ankle once or twice doing that, but I've never had permanent damage from doing it. But does that mean that I'm gonna still even let that stop me? No. So even if you have had one bad experience doing something, does that mean that it's gonna happen again? No. Does it mean it can? And depending on the situation, it's just a risk assessment. Depending on the situation, some things are actually more dangerous than others. But I think living in a car, sleeping in a car, traveling by yourself, I think there's just a lot of assumptions that it's more dangerous than it actually is. And so I hope that if it's something that you think is cool to do and that you've always wanted to do, I hope that you're not letting the fear stop you. You can feel that fear and you can do it anyway. And you can logically prepare yourself. And you can even do things that make you feel more comfortable, or comfortable in the actual way of comfort, or safe. Or invite a friend, or maybe sleep in your own town first so you know where everything is. There's ways to do it. And if you have to take more steps so you feel safer doing it, then that's great. But you're still doing it. Some people can jump headfirst in. Some people need to take more steps and a little bit more time, and that's okay. You got to know what's right for you. But I just really hope that you're not letting the idea that, oh, that's dangerous, you shouldn't do it. I just hope that you're not letting that stop you, because at least from my experience, it's not very dangerous. And again, it's just my experience. You could do it once and something bad could happen, but that's risk assessment. And that's anything you do in your life, something bad could happen. So that's my little fear danger chat, because that's one of those assumptions that bothers me about living in a car, because a lot of people have assumptions about things they've never even done before. And it's like, guys, no. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's fine if you don't want to do it, but if you don't want to do it, make sure that it's for reasons that are actually true. Don't just make up reasons, But I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that it helped, kind of change your mindset a little bit when it comes to fear and when it comes to how we make our decisions and how we choose to do certain things, because we have so many choices in this life. I think it's really easy to pretend that we don't, that it's up to other people or up to society. But in reality, we have a lot of choices. We don't have every choice. We don't get to control the weather, for example, but we get to control where we are. So we kind of do get to control what weather we experience, you know what I mean? But I really think that people have more choices than they like to admit, because admitting that we have more choices is admitting that we are in control and admitting that we are responsible. And a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for things because it's hard and it takes a lot more work and a lot more admitting when we're wrong or admitting when we need to work on things. It takes a lot more effort. And so I just always want to encourage you guys that that effort and that admitting when we're wrong or admitting when we have to take responsibility for things is a good thing. Yeah, it's more work, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to take control of the things that we can control. Because again, we can't control everything, but being able to admit what we can control and take ownership in that is really, really good. And that's going to be really one of the only ways that we can truly live the life that we're supposed to live and the life that God gave us to live. Otherwise, we're just letting other people take control. We're giving up our own control for certain things. And that's just letting society kind of take over, or letting other people take over, or letting life dictate you, when in reality, you can dictate a lot in this life. And so I just hope that talks like this can encourage you, or just even help you think a little bit of a different way. And if you already think this way, I hope it's something that you can just connect with. And so yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and if you got anything out of it. And if you're thinking of anything after watching it, I would love to know. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I really hope that you're subscribed, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.